It has been a fun-filled day already here at the comic store. It is Tuesday night. You'll be seeing this on Wednesday morning with our very amazing powers of editing and whatever else that this video monkey will drop on here.
Broadcast magic is what we like to call it.
See, much better, Morgan. Quick and concise with that. Ready to brand it. Very good. We have comics for you, of course. What else would we have for you? It is Wednesday. It is New Comic Day. And I don't want to hear anything about it's warm. You know, it's warm here too. Whatever. Come in and get your comics.
It's not even that warm anymore.
No.
Were you here on Saturday? I was here on Saturday.
No, I'm glad I was not here on Saturday.
That was a trial by fire, I tell you what.
Yeah, no, this place is horrible in the sun.
Well, that's a good segue there. Right? Trial by fire here for Mr. Jaime Reyes. Yes,
the return.
Legacy Blue Beetle. The legacy Blue Beetle.
Right? How many are we down? Like 3? 4?
Yeah. He hasn't been around since, like, his New 52 series ended real quick. And then he got shoehorned off into the Space Book Threshold that everyone forgot about within, like, 6 issues.
I've completely even forgot that existed.
Wow. But he hasn't been seen at all since then. Like, not even in Teen Titans or any of those books. They didn't even put him on, like, any of the Minority Justice Leagues or anything like that. He had nothing in the DCU. You know, the DCYOU. None of that. They forgot about him. But he's back with the man, Ted Kord. Yes, the previous Blue Beetle here.
That used to be dead.
Yeah, he was dead for a bit. Jeff Johns brought him back and then forgot about him. You know, standard New 52 stuff. But this is by Keith Giffen and Scott Collins. Two great DC veterans.
And if I remember, Keith Giffen penned the
first few issues of the first time it Reyes series.
Yeah. Another one from DC, Hellblazer #1. Very excited about this, featuring local art by Moritat, or art by local artist Moritat, and story by Simon Oliver. The first issue saw the return of John Constantine to England, which caused lots of problems, because he was more or less demon banned from England. He was not allowed to set foot in England. But, you know, being scared that Trump might be president, which is really what they cite, he leaves the country and goes back to England. Because clearly a demon that put a curse on him is nowhere near as bad as Trump as president, apparently.
No, not at all.
Not at all. But yeah, I really enjoyed the first one. It was a little bit of setup, but I'm hoping this will really turn into a cool actual Hellblazer story rather than that kind of Constantine light stuff.
Alright, and my last book for the DC Countdown this week is Deathstroke #1.
Slice.
Written by Christopher Priest, who did an awesome run on Black Panther, created Quantum and Woody, created the crew. Was he Damage Control? No, that was McDuffie.
No, that was McDuffie.
Yeah, but they finally took Chris Priest's advice and let him write a character who wasn't just a black character. They weren't like, they offered him Cyborg first, and he was like, no, I don't want to do that, I don't want to be the black writer. And they finally gave him Deathstroke, who's actually one of DC's more popular characters, because you know his Cyborg book would have tanked immediately.
I know. All Cyborg books tank
no offense to Priest, but yeah, it's a Cyborg
inevitable,
book.
Right?
He's joined by Carlo Pagulian, who also did the art for the Rebirth issue, and this is actually spinning directly out of there, with this plot with this warlord who he's like being hired to stop, and then he double crosses in the middle of the plan. Then the warlord counted on him double crossing him, and it's all very convoluted. The kind of story that Priest loves to tell.
There's lots of ins and outs in the old duder's head there.
Yeah, and this also reunites him with Wintergreen, his old butler slash sidekick. Kind of like even more badass Alfred.
Yeah, kind of like Micro, even a little bit for Punisher, but not quite as smart. Yeah.
And also a bit slimmer.
Yeah, well, Micro, you know, he got his legs chopped off by a friggin' supervillain. What are you gonna do, man? All right, now he can't exercise anymore. This is a special thing. Truly, this is Six-Pack and Dog Welder. Now, I know you might be confused already. You probably never heard of Hitman. Maybe you have. Garth Ennis years ago created the superhero that nobody really likes to talk about because he didn't really do superheroic things. He kind of shot bad guys and sometimes good guys, and also radioactive Santas because they just need to get taken down too.
God.
Yeah. But out of that, there was the Section 8, which was the greatest street hard heroes that you'll ever meet. Degenerates is not even the word, all right? And we have perhaps the 3 most amazing members of Six-Pack, or of Section 8, which is Six-Pack, Dog Welder, and lurking in the back is Bueno Excelente. I'm not going to tell you what Bueno Excelente does.
But you never want him lurking in the back.
No, in fact, I can't tell you what Bueno Excelente does. What I can tell you is that Dog Welder does exactly what you think Dog Welder would do. That's right. to the face with dogs that he carries on his belt for long periods of time, which gotta stink like all hell.
Yeah,
Anyway, Garth Ennis, Russ Braun, oh yeah, and you can't forget Baitor, the greatest bartender from hell ever. You interested yet? Because you should be.
Also of note, DC let him just straight up take a crap on their last, 3 years of their publishing. So in case that's the kind of thing you're interested in,
Yeah.
you know. Moving on for the DC universe, though, my first book here is the second issue of Image's Snotgirl by Brian Lee O'Malley of Scott Pilgrim fame. Also recently did Seconds, and he's working on a new trilogy of graphic novels called Worst World.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know he was doing anything new.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
That got some hype at this last convention. Was that SDCC a few weeks
guess.
ago? Yeah, I don't know. I lose track of them, even the big ones. But the art is done by Leslie Hung, who has a really, really great style for this book. It's sort of I'd say it was a modern romance comic, except it's less about her, crying over boys and more about her crying over the possible murder of her new best friend, aka Cool Girl, because, all the fashion bloggers in this comic, it's something girl. I guess that's how they do it on the internet. I don't know about that particular corner of the web, but I believe it. I mean, it's Brian Lee O'Malley.
Right?
He knows the internet.
Dude spends a lot of time in the internet, come on. New from Valiant, big release that they will be spinning out of the Harbinger Wars, which they did a little while ago. This is Generation Zero, Fred Van Lente and Francis Portela. Francis Portela was recently doing some Faith as well, which also came out this week. But this is basically if you are a kid and you're in trouble and your parents won't help, but if your cause, it has to be worthy, then #Generation Zero will help you. Kind of like an underground, not quite network, because there's only some of them, of kids who were previously built and bred to be assassins or psychic warriors or other things that you really shouldn't do to kids at that young age. But yeah, so this is focusing on the people that survived that project and the Harbinger Wars. But yeah, if you're digging some new Valiant stuff, want some kind of punk kid, rebel against everybody over 21, then this is your book.
Alright, and my next pick for you is yet another DC book. This is Wonder Woman number 5 from Greg Rucka and Liam Sharp. This not only continues the story of Wonder Woman and Steve Trevor's parallel quests in Africa, one of them dealing with a warlord, who there are apparently a lot of those
So wait a
over in
minute,
Africa or something.
warlord, like Mike Grell warlord?
No,
Oh.
a warlord.
Oh,
Like
man,
the kinds
oh.
that kidnap people's daughters from
Oh, okay.
villages and...
Alright.
No, the real kind.
I was like,
not
wow,
like
they
Mike Grell
dropped
beard
warlord
crap.
in that book?
No, I'm pretty sure they blew up his whole world in
hope so.
conversions.
Right.
But this has the dual pair storylines of Wonder Woman and Steve Trevor in Africa. Wonder Woman's dealing with the cheetah, and then you've also got the introduction or reintroduction of one of Rucka's pet characters, Sasha Bordeaux, who was really cool around the time of Infinite Crisis.
Yeah,
the Checkmate
whatever
book.
happened to her?
I have no idea. I don't think anyone remembered her
Wow,
except for
dude.
Greg. So
I didn't remember until you said something
Thanks,
right
Greg.
now. Wow, Checkmate was really cool. Actually, I dug that. New big one from Image Comics, Double Size, Lake of Fire, number 1, featuring art and writing, everything but art. Writing, lettering, and coloring by Nathan Fairbairn, who has done a lot of coloring work for Image, and Matt Smith providing the art here on this kind of Crusaders meets Aliens meets fantasy adventure by way of kind of Mike Oeming and Mike Mignola a little bit. Definitely got some kind of cool religious aspects to go with the creepy occultness, and of course, lots of strange aliens that need stabbing. Stabbing!
Lots of stabbing.
I hope they don't have acid blood, because that's just not going to work well.
Right. And my next book for you is another Image title here. This is the 3rd issue, the penultimate chapter of the 1st season of SheWolf. This is Rich Tommaso's Occult Baby.
Really cool.
Yeah, it sees a teen girl struggling with, the usual teenage stuff, like boyfriends and school and werewolf curses. Normal stuff, really. This issue sees her go into a weird dream world, which involves jumping into a stained glass window and seeing a whole lot of devil dong. Yeah,
Devil Doll.
It's an interesting book. There's a lot of really cool pinups in the back too. There's some Jim Rugg, there's some
really
Brandon
bad.
Graham, Brian Level has a pinup in here.
Nice.
There's some
Very
Chuck
nice.
Forsman even. It's really cool stuff. I'm looking forward to the collected edition of that coming out.
Yeah, really digging that guy's stuff. Big book of gorgeousness for you. The Sensuous World of Frank Frazetta. Frank Frazetta, pretty much everybody knows. Come on now, it's Frank Frazetta. He also did a ton of romance comics, some of which have been, not so greatly reproduced in the past 10 or 15 years. But this is an amazing collection of not only those issues in a nice color and black and white side by side so you can see the difference, but it's got a little bit just about Frazetta and about kind of his contribution to the romance comics, as well as some great pinups from in here at the beginning. Really, really cool stuff. I mean, it's like $25 for a hell of a lot of really nice Frazetta. Highly recommended. Also got a badass Wally Wood book in from the same company this week, so, if you need a little bit of that kind of elder statesman art, that classic, real primal stuff, then this is it. Really great stuff. Very, very nice.
Yeah, can we start a hashtag make comics art great again? If we're going back to the way things were there.
Right.
Anyway, speaking of going way back, actually, for the new IDW Godzilla series, Rage Across Time, we're going way back to Fuel Japan for the first issue.
Fuel Japan.
I think this is following, like, some sort of team of Godzilla scientists, because, there's a lot of those. There really are.
He's impacted a lot of lives.
Yeah, he has. And apparently throughout the ages, even. They're sort of doing some deep sea excavation when they find these artifacts that lead them to this whole story about these feudal warlords dealing with not only Godzilla, but also some kind of weird underground, slightly Ghidorah thing, but also Megalon and Gigan, two of my favorite monsters.
That's a lot of monsters in one book for a first issue.
And the art style is really nice between time periods. You got the present day stuff looking more like your typical IDW Godzilla comic, and then the Japan stuff it's got this really crazy, like almost woodblock cut style. Yeah. It's really sweet stuff, and the colors that accompany the retro pages are just
very cool. Yeah. Godzilla, they've been really pumping out some pretty good Godzilla
I feel like
stuff.
the last one just ended.
Yeah, it did. It's still in rec, actually. And my final pick of the week, Island, number 10, edited by Brandon Graham and Emma Rios. This issue features a very nice cover by Mike DeForge, and that issue, the Mike DeForge story from last issue, Mostly Saturn, was amazing, if anybody did not read that. But this issue sees the second part of Farrell's bizarre feral stuff, which is amazing. Never really quite knowing where that's going, but always enjoying it a lot. And also new Land Called Tarot by Gail Bertrand, which has been one of my favorite pieces in this book. Totally silent, really amazing fantasy stuff, and there's some Zooniverse by Phil Barlow to round it all out. So all in all, another great issue from Brennan Graham and Company. And was that about it?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, guys.
Here.
So, come in, get your comics, come in, and yeah, because it's comics and it's Wednesday, and you need them in your blood. That's right.
Comics.
Yes.
Blood.
Blood.
Yeah.
Rub the blood. See you guys next week.